The Detroit Pistons have faced a rough stretch in the NBA over the past few years, ranking among the league's worst teams. However, there is a noticeable shift happening within the organization, sparking optimism for both the franchise and its dedicated fan base. The rebuilding process has been particularly grueling, as the Pistons endured some of the most unfortunate NBA draft lottery results in recent history. Despite these setbacks, the team finally caught a break, selecting Cade Cunningham as the top overall pick when the lottery odds finally swung in their favor. Cunningham has quickly established himself as not only the cornerstone of the Pistons, but also as one of the league's rising stars. His impact on the court has been undeniable, and he has emerged as the driving force behind the Pistons' resurgence. With his leadership and skill set, Detroit now finds itself in an unexpected yet promising position to contend for a playoff spot. In addition to Cunningham's emergence, another key figure in the Pistons' success this season has been their head coach, J.B. Bickerstaff. After enjoying a respectable tenure with the Cleveland Cavaliers, Bickerstaff found himself unexpectedly out of a job when Cleveland decided to part ways with him following last season. Detroit wasted no time seizing the opportunity, bringing Bickerstaff in to lead the team. So far, that decision appears to be paying off immensely, as he has helped transform the Pistons into a competitive squad playing some of their best basketball in years. Looking back at last season, the Pistons finished with a dismal 14-68 record, the worst mark in the entire NBA. Given that performance, expectations for this season remained low, with many analysts predicting another difficult campaign. However, Detroit has managed to defy those projections in spectacular fashion. As of now, the Pistons hold a record of 31-26, placing them firmly in sixth place in the Eastern Conference standings. If the season were to conclude today, Detroit would officially qualify for the playoffs, marking a stunning turnaround from last year's struggles. For a team that has languished near the bottom of the standings for so long, the idea of making the playoffs seemed almost unthinkable not too long ago. Yet, unless they experience an unexpected collapse down the stretch, Detroit appears destined for the postseason. Of course, there is still plenty of work to be done, with a month and a half remaining in the regular season. Nevertheless, the Pistons are in an enviable position, and their fans have every reason to be excited. It is important to note that only the top 6 teams in each conference earn an automatic playoff berth. The next 4 teams must battle for the final 2 spots through the NBA's play-in tournament. This means that while the Pistons are currently in a strong position, they must remain vigilant. A slight dip in the standings could drop them into play-in tournament territory, which would add significant uncertainty to their postseason hopes. At this stage, Detroit's primary objective is clear: finish in the top 6 to secure a direct playoff spot. However, considering where the team was at the start of the season, even reaching the play-in tournament would have been seen as a major accomplishment. Now, expectations have shifted, and anything less than a playoff berth would feel like a letdown given their performance up to this point. Barring an unexpected slide, Detroit is projected to finish somewhere between the 4th and 6th seed in the Eastern Conference. The team has created a small cushion between themselves and the Orlando Magic, who currently occupy 7th place, trailing Detroit by 3 games. While catching the 3rd-seeded New York Knicks appears unlikely, the Pistons are 6 games back. The 4th and 5th seeds remain well within reach. Detroit is just 2 games behind the 4th-place team and only 1.5 games away from 5th place. The progress made by this Pistons squad is undeniable, and it is certainly an exhilarating time to be a fan. However, it is worth considering whether the team's front office could have positioned them even better by making additional moves before the NBA trade deadline. Did the Pistons miss an opportunity to strengthen the roster? While Cade Cunningham has been nothing short of spectacular this season, it is clear that no single player can carry a team to championship contention alone. Many of the top playoff teams in the NBA feature star duos or even trios, allowing them to spread the burden of leadership and scoring responsibilities. Although the Pistons have a solid supporting cast, they lack the kind of secondary superstar that could elevate them into the realm of true title contenders. Ahead of the trade deadline, Detroit did make one significant move by acquiring veteran point guard Dennis Schroder. This addition was a strategic one, as Schroder brings a wealth of experience and has quickly found chemistry with his new teammates. His presence could prove crucial once the postseason arrives, as he adds depth and stability to the team's backcourt. That being said, the Pistons refrained from making any major blockbuster trades, and there is an argument to be made that they could have done more to bolster their roster. However, it is important to recognize that this season does not represent Detroit's only opportunity to contend. The rebuild has taken time, but the progress is finally visible, and the team has a promising young core that can continue to develop in the years to come. There will be future chances to acquire additional pieces that could help push the Pistons to the next level. At the end of the day, it is difficult to criticize this Pistons team too harshly. Few franchises have endured the kind of hardships Detroit has faced in recent years, yet they have managed to orchestrate a remarkable turnaround. Not only have they put themselves in position to reach the playoffs, but they also appear capable of making some noise once they get there. It is entirely possible that this team could advance beyond the first round, and depending on matchups, they might even win multiple series. As the regular season winds down, all eyes will be on Detroit to see how they handle the final stretch. If they can maintain their current level of play, the Pistons will enter the playoffs as a legitimate threat. Regardless of what happens next, one thing is clear: the future is bright for Detroit basketball, and this team is only getting started.